All right, guys, how you doing? How you doing? I'm over here in my room. We're gonna be doing another accident scene management type video. This one's a full length video, and then I watched a little bit. I didn't watch too much. I watched a little bit. We kind of jumped in on this one on the last time we did an accident scene, and she crashed. She hit a guardrail, and then she talks about it after the fact. So this is from her channel, and she hasn't posted in about I think 11 months now. So this is we'll get to this right here. So stay tuned to the end of the talk through. So we're gonna be going over this with the eyes from me and what I see, how I see it, and I like that she shares her injuries. So you actually get to see some injuries. Real quick though, at the beginning she is screaming quite loud, and if anybody has any sensitivity to hearing anybody scream in pain, this is what it sounds like. You'd be surprised. This is what it sounds like. We did hear some guys scream in pain on some of these accidents, so just be aware that at the beginning that's what she's doing. And then we're going to kind of go over what they did, kind of our own idea of, you know, what type of injury she could have, and then I guess we'll see if I'm right or wrong. Doesn't really matter, but at the end of the day, because I'm trying to figure out what to treat based on her pain and what I can see. I don't have x-ray vision and everything. So make sure you hit that like button, everybody. Hit that like button. And if you'd like to support the channel, swing on by patreon.com/DanTheFireman. And we got 425 out of 500, guys. That's pretty close. At 500, I'm going to be traveling the country teaching you guys all these things. All right? All right, so let's go ahead and watch parts of it. Since this is a full-on video, we will pause it and go over certain aspects. Usually we watch the full video, and then we go back over it. This one, since it's so long, it's going to take up the whole hour, maybe even hour and a half of a 16-17 minute video. So we'll move things around. What's up, Manuel? How you doing? What's up, Tyler? Chris Brown, Aaron, not Aaron, but Aaron. Big Dan 484, nice. Thank you, Big Dan. I really appreciate those kind words. Julian, thank you. Let's go ahead and do it. So stay tuned to the end. So get ready, guys.
Where's go?
Hey, Riley, thank you, man.
Accident on Geiger grade going up. Where? Geiger grade towards Virginia City. Where? Don't move.
All right.
There's no cross street.
So I'm gonna take off. I'm gonna take off closed captioning. So real quick, let's actually. Somebody gave Skyer. Thank you for giving me the keyboard commands. I'm really trying to work them. Okay. So real quick, what you see. So this is you approaching the scene. Yeah, that's a real pain scream. So this is you approaching the scene. First and foremost, you try your best to stay calm. Okay, try your absolute best to stay calm. You can do the oh shit moments, and just while you're walking up to it, be like, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. That's gonna happen. Oh, Robert Malasek, thank you so much, man. Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate that. Really do. You're the top donator of the month. Look at that. Nice. You're gonna do the oh shit moments. Let that happen. Just let it go. Don't try to fight that. That's a natural reaction. Something I had even up until the last shift that I had. Okay, so the oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. I'm hearing somebody screaming. My friend just crashed. But when you look at this, the mechanism of injury right here. So why is she on the other side of the guardrail? And then why is her bike over there? So for the most part, they must be coming from the opposite direction of this car. This car might have stopped because it happened, like he was over here and this happened. He was driving. What I'm assuming is that if you look at the curvature, so how it's curving left, they're about to go left. So this looks like it's possibly on the second curve. So when she's going right, she overtook it and she hit the guardrail. Her bike kept going and she flew over. That's my assumption. That is my scene assessment. So real quick, you can see the gouges into the asphalt. That right there definitely, I think that confirms what I was thinking, is that she crashed, hit the guardrail either went over or under, the bike continued, okay? If you have no idea what happened and you see this kind of stuff and this person's not screaming and you can't see them, maybe it's at night, Think of this. Think of this. You see the bike over there. Do your own investigative work. Bike's over there. Skid marks here. Looks like the impact was here. There's a cliff here. I'm going to double check. So once again, that's just one of those things. Okay, immediately, this guy is doing a great job. Immediately saying, don't move. I mean, there's only so much you can do, but he's getting 911 on the line right away. He's getting emergency medical services there as quick as possible. Because once again, the moment you get on scene, the moment you dial 911, that could be a minute, 2 minutes. Okay, so the accident already happened for 2 minutes. So 2 minutes of this woman, Bili Bean Moto, on the ground in pain. You call 911. It takes about a minute for you to give them the information. That's 3 minutes now. It takes about another minute for them to dispatch resources if you give them the appropriate place to go. So now it's 4 minutes. It takes 3 to 5 to 10 minutes for EMS to show up. So we're talking a 10, 15-minute response time, especially that could be in the middle of the city and it's still a 5-minute response time. But out here in the hills, no. So get them on the line as soon as possible. So his job right now is to call 911, talk to 911. Okay, this guy, now that we have 2 people on scene, this is where who here is part of a motorcycle club or riding group? Who here is the tail gunner? And then somebody remind me what the name is for the person up front. What's the person's name up front? And then the tail gunner. So the tail gunner, let's say the guy that at the very end sees this, shows up, and he's helping out. But the guy that was next to the incident calls 911. So you start having those resources. So take ownership of certain positions. This guy's 911. This guy's going to start doing something. Road captain. Yeah, road captain.
Where's go? Hey, motorcycle accident? On Geiger Grade going up Geiger Grade towards Virginia City.
Where?
You see how this guy's taking control of the incident when it comes to talking to EMS and talking to dispatch. He's giving location. He says he's on the top of a specific mountain, and he's talking about which direction they were going. This guy over here is starting to do a patient assessment. This is what it is. It's a patient assessment. You're trying to see and gauge what's the injuries. Now, obviously, screaming in pain, so there's a high level of pain, possibly 10/10 pain, but he needs to find out if there's any life-threatening injuries. So I already see, just by looking at her, I see a tear in her pants. I can already tell that there has been an impact of some sort to her at lower extremities. I'm going to assume every single extremity, every single portion of her body has had an impact. But right here, this might be a distracting injury, so I'm going to keep an eye on that. I'm going to kind of keep that in the back of my mind, but I want to hear from her if she has any difficulty breathing, if she feels like she has tightness in her chest, feels like an elephant sitting on her chest. I want to make sure, do you feel things? Do you feel your legs? Do you feel this? Do you feel that? Feel that? All these things. Yes, exactly. Yam will be there. She definitely does have an airway. I like how you guys brought that, or how you brought that up. The fact that she is screaming means that she has an airway. Now, whether is it going to stay secure, we don't know. Whether she's going to continue breathing, we don't know. But right now, right away, we know she's breathing. We know all that. We don't know if she has any type of major bleeds. These look like Dueydidit shoes. So these might be Moto shoes. They're not Moto boots. They still offer better protection than regular shoes, but not any of the shin protection, calf protection that my boots do. But I think these are the Dueydidit or whatever you want to say it kind of shoes.
Don't move.
Okay, ankle pain. Yeah, so ankle pain, that could be anything. So you can have radiated pain, so you can actually have a break in your upper shin and and complain of ankle pain. The pain can just, wherever the nerve endings flow and wherever the actual impact is, it's really weird how things work. But yeah, so ankle pain should be shooting you off. So if you ask somebody, where's your pain? And they point and they say, my ankle pain. Well, that is probably their most painful thing. That's the 10 out of 10 that they're having. But they could have a 7 out of 10 abdominal pain. They could have a 5 out of 10 chest pain. They could have a 2 or 3 out of 10 neck pain. But they're not saying any of that stuff because that 10/10 ankle pain is front and center. So just because somebody says, hey, my ankle hurts, don't just stick with the ankle. Don't just stick with the arm. Don't just stick with the chest. Check everything. You're going to do a head to toe. You're going to do a head to toe assessment. And these are all things that I'll be teaching you in my accident scene management class that I got going for you guys. All right?
What was that? There's no cross streets. Just going up to Virginia City. Geiger Gray. You call it?
Okay. So what you can't see is he's got ankle pain. Okay, he's got his hand underneath the ankle for support. On his left hand, from what I can tell just by the way people start touching people, is that he has his left hand underneath the knee, right hand under the ankle. So if she has a tib-fib fracture, you're supporting the joint above and below, and he's moving. I like how he's doing. That's a natural thing, and I understand that we're screenshotted right on his butt. These aren't Moto jeans, by the way. They're 541 Levi's.
Yeah. It's just
good, Julian.
Mile marker or anything? It's just going up.
It's the first turn. We're below Geiger grade.
First turn. First turn is going up.
Oh my.
So location. Landmarks are huge, especially if the dispatcher knows where that is. Okay, you got to realize, maybe the dispatcher never goes up that way. It has no idea where that is. So knowing the actual road and then knowing the mile marker. You see how they're talking about mile markers? I bet you the dispatcher was asking, do you know what mile marker you're next to? So that's all good information to know.
Oh my God. Where did she go? Let's get your bike out of here.
I need to get my shoes.
I don't know what he got the gloves for.
Oh, my back.
My back. Robert, thank you. There we go. She just complained about her back. Now, I understand that that could be really scary for some people. All of a sudden, somebody in a trauma accident like this is like, my back. That can put you in a, oh no, paralyzed. Don't think that right away. I mean, you got really big muscles in your back. They could be spasming. They could be protecting the spine, but man, is it painful. And one thing you want to check is, once again, is that if they do have a back injury, every motorcycle accident, you have to take the precautions of a back injury. Hey, Ron. Drinking a Sweetwater and learning some good stuff. Thanks, man. Thank you so much. It's going to pop up on screen. Ooh, we got the super chats in the house. So you got to, I can't believe I got distracted. The only thing you really have to worry about when it comes to a back injury is making sure that it stays in line. And then if it affects their breathing, there it is, boy. Oh, it won't drinking a Sweetwater. It blocked the Sweetwater out. What? You definitely gotta watch out for difficulty breathing, because when you have a spinal injury, the nerves in the spine, if they do branch out and they're the ones that are affecting the breathing, like the diaphragm. If the nerves are damaged that make the diaphragm move, you're going to start having to do rescue breathing. So that's the only real time that you're going to have to worry too much about a back injury. Other than that, let EMS take care of all that stuff.
Hello? We got another accident.
Okay. So what he did is he released the strap on her neck, and then he's supporting under the head. So while he was doing that, take a quick look. So he's releasing the strap one hand, and he's keeping C-spine, and he's keeping the back of the head not elevated, but in line as best as he possibly can.
We got another.
See that right there? So don't move. Good. So right here, this is where it's good to talk to the patient. The Bobs, how you doing, man? It's been a while. It's good to talk to the patient. So and it's like, what do I say? I have no idea what to say. There's this person screaming. I'm freezing up. What do I talk about? Like, how's her day? I mean, she just got into a crash, right? No, the one thing that you can do, and it really helps people, especially in these situations, is talk to them about what is going on. That's it. Walk them through absolutely everything that you and whoever else is doing. They are in a position of fright. They have high anxiety. They're scared. They're in absolute zero control now, not because they just got in an accident, okay, what now? But they feel like they're in zero control of their body at this point. So this right here is anxiety, huge anxiety. So what you need to do and what you can do is just say, hey, ma'am, like if you don't know them, be like, ma'am, right now I'm holding your head still. I need you to keep your body still. You need to keep your neck still. We're trying to keep your back in line just in case there is a spinal injury. Right now, you said that your ankle is in a lot of pain. From what I can tell, I can't see anything right now, but obviously it is in a lot of pain. But we have somebody on the phone right now calling 911. We're getting help to you, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to stay still. You need to let me know, okay? This is your job now. This is the job I want you to give you, is that if for some reason you feel like you can't breathe, if it feels like it's getting harder to breathe, I need you to tell me immediately, okay? That is your job. I want you to monitor that. Give them a job. Talk to them. However you need to do it, okay? However you need to do it.
My backpack.
So we got more resources. Okay. So let's say you're here and you come up across 3 people. You see somebody on the phone. You see somebody on the other side of the guardrail. Obviously something's going on. Motorcyclists can see or knows what a crash looks like. So we're going to stop and help. Okay. So this guy right here, pretend you're this guy now. Pretend you're this guy. Okay, this guy's already doing something. You can tell he's already doing something. He's got the patient laying down. He's holding the back of the head. Right here, if you are the one with the accident scene management and this guy doesn't have anything, he's doing a good job, though. Thank you, man. Thank you, Chris. I appreciate that, guys. Thank you, Samuel. Yeah, having calm voice is huge. There you go. Good for you, man. Let's say you show up and this guy's doing a good job. You have the most experience probably because you took the class. So right here you can tell him, hey, I took a class. I mean, it sounds cheesy, whatever it is. Hey, I took a class on motorcycle accident scenes. I'm gonna go ahead and I want to know what you did. I want to know what we're doing, what type of stuff you saw. And with a calm, assertive voice like that, if this guy wants to help. So it's crazy what humans do in an emergency situation. It's like we're glue. We band together easily. So he'll probably tell you, hey, she says she has ankle pain. I'm holding the head. Okay, awesome. Go ahead and keep holding the head. Keep it in line. We're going to keep the helmet on. I'm going to do a trauma assessment. And then you tell Bili Moto, I guess that's her name. You actually talk to her. You ask for it. Ratka, hey, buddy. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. You have to actually ask for permission because she is conscious. She's absolutely conscious. So she has to give you consent to touch her. So what you can do by showing up to the scene and say, hey, what's your name, ma'am? Bili Bean Moto. Okay, Bili Bean Moto, is it okay if I touch you? I would like to do a rapid trauma assessment. I want to make sure that there's no life-threatening injuries. I am trained, I'll say, for example, I'll walk up to somebody. Okay, ma'am, hi, my name is Daniel. I'm here to help you out. I'm an EMT, a retired firefighter, and I have some training on this. I would like to touch you if you can. I'd like to check your arms, legs, and check your whole body for any major bleeds, anything like that. So that's what I would do.
Oh, my ankle.
Ankle again.
Fuck.
Neck okay?
Oh, fuck.
Thank you.
Oh.
Which leg? Did you go over this railing?
She went under.
She went under?
Went under.
So this is somebody crashed.
Just leave the leg for now.
Leave the leg for now.
Yeah, try not to move.
Don't move.
Don't move.
Oh,
You want some water?
Yeah.
No water. No water, guys. No water or food. That is one of the things that you would like to ask the patient. When is your last oral intake? Because for all we know is that she has internal bleeding. If you have any water or food, that can make complications for the surgery. So do not give anybody water or food.
Think we should cover her up?
Yeah.
Another thing is if she does have difficulty breathing at some point and there's some underlying thing, she can aspirate it, which is vomiting it up and then breathing in the vomit. Not good. Make sure you guys hit that like button, boys.
Is he okay?
Please check it out, but he'll be okay.
Okay, so that we have a secondary incident, everybody. So a guy from the group high-sided from cars stopping abruptly from this accident. So guys, there could be multiple incidents. So just because you're here and you're helping somebody out, let's say you're helping this person out and they're breathing, they're just in a lot of pain, and you're the one that's in charge of the scene. You're the one saying, hey, you go down 100 feet, you go around that curve, hey, you go around that curve, you start slowing people down, hey, I need you on 911, hey, I need you on C-spine since you have a huge group, right? You're basically walking command. So all of a sudden there's another accident. You need to be like, hey, the person on 911, let them know we have a secondary accident. I'm going to check his injuries. So then you go over there and check his injuries. Because what if that person over there is not breathing? What good is that? What is that going to do? I mean, if you're staying here with Billy Bean and that person's not breathing, you're like, well, I can't leave. No, you go leave and take care of the more critical patient at that point. But let somebody on dispatch know. So the person on 911, let them know that there's a secondary accident and that this person is not breathing. So then dispatch knows, hey, I need to send 2 ambulances. I need to send multiple. It's called an MPI, mass patient incident. You need to start sending all these things. How you doing, Trevor? What's up, Samuel from Wisconsin?
You okay, sweetie? No? How are you?
Yeah, Grimbeard, that's a great question. So if you don't have the training to manage the patient, manage the road instead. So first of all, this guy looks like he crashed. Yeah, he's got, so this is a second patient. So there's 3 patients, guys. There's 3 patients already on this scene. He's a patient. He's a walking wounded patient. So he's able to help if he can, or he can sit away. So if you don't have the training to manage a patient, it's going to be quite obvious to somebody that's taking this class. It's going to be quite obvious that, you know, this person doesn't know how to assess a patient, take care of a patient, but somebody that's taking the classes can actually show and say, hey, hold C-spine, this is your job. Or they could say, hey, go down 100 feet, go down to the next curve, go on top of that hill, and I need you to try to slow people down. Stay out of the roadway, but be visible and don't put yourself in harm's way. Just all we're trying to do is slow people down. So, yeah, you could definitely play to your strengths if we can.
How are you feeling right now?
I fucking hurt so bad. Okay,
Your foot hurts.
You're okay. Don't try to
I was a volunteer firefighter for 3.5 years. So.
my friend is too. He's
Right. You're right, dude?
EMT.
Yeah. You sure?
Trying to figure out who said that, because this guy's doing the job. If there's a volunteer firefighter that's been doing it for 3.5 years, he should be down here, to be honest. Then he should know to start exposing enough, because she did say her back hurts. She could have abdominal pain and internal bleeding, and then you start treating for shock. This is not treating for shock at this point, but then again, you don't want to move anything, and who knows, she might not have shock. But this is where you need to start figuring it out. You can't check. She's fully covered. So once if she has a major bleed in her back, she said her back hurts. She didn't say her spine hurts. She didn't say, you know, her upper back, lower back, whatever. She could have an impaled portion of her body. She could have impaled or have massive blunt force trauma that could have opened it, and now she has a big laceration on her back and she's bleeding out. Who knows? I don't know. Nobody knows, because nobody has checked and expose her. Now, I know there's going to be a huge thing when it comes to women, especially for men riders, is that you don't want to expose anybody. You don't want to expose men or women. You don't want to expose anybody. That could be just a universal thing. Here's the thing, is that you got to let the patient know, especially if they're conscious. If they're unconscious, it's considered implied consent. And once again, it's because you're doing the betterment, or you're trying to treat them. You're trying to be in good faith. Now, if you do any of this in bad faith, your Good Samaritan laws will not cover you. There's a huge aspect to that. But there's a way to expose the patient without keeping them exposed. So those are all things that we'll go over in the class, but one of the easiest ways to talk about that is just cutting along the sides right here. So then you can flap open the pants, and you can do a quick look, and then you can put it back over. At no point do you need to take off the bra or the panties or the underwear. There's really no point unless there is a complaint of that. Don't worry about that right now, but for me, I'm just thinking out loud, and that's what I would do.
Yeah, you good? Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, Techno, you can, and that's another thing, guys, you can feel for moisture. So if you have gloved hands, you can go underneath the arms and just kind of slide down underneath every arm, underneath the sides of the back, underneath the legs, and then if you look at your hands and you feel any moisture and you see any blood, you know for a fact they're bleeding. It's as simple as that, and that's a quick, rapid assessment of major bleeds.
Yeah. Oh, I'm good. At least let me check on your lymph pressure on your back and see what's looking like. All right, bud? I'm going to look at Lily.
Can you move your fingers?
Oh yeah, I'm definitely
Good.
good.
Okay.
But yeah,
Can you feel your toes? Can you feel this?
We're coming around.
How about that?
I was gonna say, you notice how he's like, can you feel your toes? She's only moving her right leg. So it's gonna probably be a left leg injury.
And we just went down like
You
this
can?
and the bike
Okay.
went over there. We both rolled under.
Watch out, Dan. Illy, are you cold?
okay. I'm gonna cover you up anyways, okay? Are your arms hurting? Can you feel your fingers?
Yeah, but they hurt really bad.
Okay. Don't try to move them.
Arms hurt, fingers
Try
hurt.
to move them.
Here's another thing: is this guy's making me nervous. She has her hands on the bottom right here, and he's just stepping around him. If you can, try your best not to move over the patient. Try to move yourself with enough reaction or enough distance so you don't accidentally step and cause more injuries. This right here, the blanket, it can help, especially if they are in colder climates, and then especially if she is going into shock. This is what you do if somebody's going into shock. I'm really surprised this guy has a blanket. Usually it's pretty hard to find. It's pretty hard to find.
In the fire.
I mean, where are you going to keep that blanket? Another thing you could do is get one of those space blankets. They pack up the super tiny, like this size. They pack up this big, and you can keep it easily in the bottom of your jacket. You can put it in a jacket pocket.
Okay. Do you have? Give me a back. Don't move her head. Don't move her head.
Is there a flare up on that chance? I did. Yeah, no. They're on their way.
Try to get that under there. Okay. Try not to move her head too much.
I'm fine. I don't feel any pain.
You notice how the person at the head is staying at the head? Once this is your job, it's your job. You do not move away from it.
We just need an ambulance for her.
Oh, okay. She's the ICU nurse.
Actually, we had a second accident, but he's up and he's fine too.
ICU nurse.
Yeah, we're with her right now. We actually have a nurse that's here too.
Oh my gosh, get him. He's hurt too.
Okay.
He's hurt and he went down.
Okay, sit down. Please sit down.
So she's trying to take control of the incident. She's trying to take control of the incident. This is an ICU nurse. Here's the there's nothing against nurses, nothing against doctors. Okay? It all depends on what kind of nurse and all depends what kind of doctor. ICU nurse, that makes a little bit more sense. They're able to handle more emergency type situations. But if you get somebody that says, hey, I'm a nurse, and they're a pediatric nurse or anything like that, and this is a motorcycle accident, they don't specialize in trauma, they can definitely give some good, valuable information. But pre-hospital care is something a lot different. Okay, so the pre-hospital care is something a lot different. So definitely, I mean, what she's doing right now, telling the other guy to sit down, the guy that was in another accident, that's good. She's taking control of all the patients, so she's doing a good job of seeing safety for that. But once again, we need to have one person in charge. That one person in charge needs to be directing this stuff. So whoever was in charge should have her be the new medical division, basically, which is somebody that takes care of all the patients.
Sit down.
Sit down. Just one. Just one that's really her. Me and the other guy are trying to move there.
Move your fingers, hands.
Where's my hand?
She's 21.
And
Okay.
She's awake,
Squeeze
yeah.
over here.
Yes.
Okay. Squeeze. Okay.
Yeah, I see him coming up.
She's checking pulse motor sensory. These are things that you would check after an incident if you have the EMT and above skills. For bystander, she's doing a little bit extra. But just kind of see what she's doing. It's really good to know above and below what you're supposed to know.
Wiggle your toes. Can you wiggle?
no time.
Can you wiggle this
We came around the
toe?
blind
Okay.
corner, and I tried to
Okay.
That was pain upon palpation. So she did touch the ankle, and you see how she groaned out. That right there lets you know that even just by touching it is in pain. So there's probably trauma damage to that. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory, but it's trauma damage.
Gotcha.
Got on the rear brake to cut speed. Cut as much speed as I could.
Yeah,
Breathe. Okay, breathe. You know what day it is? Okay, what month is it? Okay, can you tell me who's the president? Okay, you got that right. Okay. Just want to know if you're all there.
So she was asking person, place, time, all these things. Like, what is a noun? So She asked what month it was. She said, I don't know. She asked what president it is. She said Obama, so I'm assuming this is when Obama was going on. So those are all ways to detect a level of consciousness. Now, these aren't questions you're normally going to ask, but these are things that you're going to find out based on how they talk to you.
Okay, does it hurt up top? Okay, does it hurt?
All over. Yeah,
Okay.
I went over.
Okay, so what she did, she palpated the injury site. What you can do as a bystander is just understand that there's an injury there. Support it by supporting the joint above and below the injury. So if it's her ankle, support the bones above and below. So support the tib fib and then the heel of her foot. So pad the space. You notice how they are. We're going to go back. So 449. Let's go back to the way it looked. So you see how there's this space right here? So what she's probably creating a space right below her knees because there's no way people are that flexible where they collapse. So she has a space there. So what you can do is support by placing some of these backpacks underneath her legs and supporting that one specific leg that's damaged. So that's something that they can think about, but ultimately it's up to them.
Yeah, well, when we were coming, the other group, we were coming through and
Okay, don't overneck her head, okay? You're doing good there.
so, right, so she,
I wonder who has all the equipment. So I have a feeling that one of these guys did take this class because this is a decent bandage job for an emergency scene, especially if it's just road rash. It doesn't need to be pretty. Tucked it in, so knew to tuck it in. So maybe there is some type of medical offshoot, maybe on the other side of the guardrail where somebody's getting training.
Just gonna unzip your jacket, okay?
Oh, under the left leg. Okay.
so I got on the rear brake as best I could, and then I was like, okay, get off the brake.
Okay, you see how the person with medical training is starting to expose? That's very good. So actually, you know what? Kudos to this person. They know what they're doing. What they're doing is that you can still leave everything on the patient for the most part. You don't have to cut the shirt. You can lift the shirt up, check the abdomen, see if there's any bruising. If there's any bruising that's super quick, like it's starting to show up like right now, that is not good. That means there's a lot of bleeding going on. Another thing is you can check the chest, and what you can do is just kind of pull the shirt down and just do like this. So you can just pull the shirt down. You could check like this. You don't have to rip off the whole shirt, okay? So that's really good that she's doing that because it's the only way you're going to find out.
Sorry.
I got off the brake, lost traction.
If there's any abrasion.
Better than hitting the car.
Okay?
My left arm hurts a lot.
Okay. Just
So think about that. Just knowing that she crashed, and it looked like a high side going right, but there's a lot of left side trauma. Why? We did notice that there was, we're at 524, there's a part of her knee, the pants have been opened, so she obviously impacted her right side. So if she low-sided, turning right, there should be more damage to her right side, correct? That's what I'm picking up. So there should be more damage to her right side. So if she landed on her right and she's complaining of left side, mostly left side stuff, that quite possibly could be the impact to the guardrail. So road rash and possible minor impact injuries on the right side, massive impact injuries on the left side. So you start putting things together. Where was I at? 540. We'll just watch it right here.
Okay. All right. It's gonna hurt like a mofo. Okay.
Any help here? It's okay.
So fire trucks here. Okay, so the nurse is giving a pass down to the EMTs on scene. You can barely hear it. I want to see if I have closed captioning on. Okay, you can't hear it. She's saying a GCS of 14, the Glasgow Coma Scale, which means 14 is you're completely 100% aware, alert. You can't have a 0. If you're dead, you have a 3. So a 3 to 14 is basically what it is. There's a huge scale when it comes to that. You know, it's all cognitive, motor function, all these different things. So that's not what you have to worry about. That is higher level. But you notice how the nurse didn't say any of this stuff to these people? Because it would have just went over her head. would have just went over their heads. So what she's doing, she's giving a pass down to the EMT or paramedic on scene that just showed up, saying, hey, she has a Glasgow or GCS of 14. She's complaining of bilateral leg pain, pain to her left arm. So she's giving a rundown so the paramedic or the EMT doesn't have to go over the same things again. They can just add upon any questions they already have. GCS 14. Left arm, left leg.
Me and her were on one bike.
Wait, so she was a passenger? I started seeing something about passenger, and now that I'm starting to put two and two together, I want to say this guy was either the passenger or the rider, because what he just said was that's their bike. Does anybody know more of this story? Because I don't know the story. So if she was the passenger, he's doing a good job of making sure she's geared up. If she wasn't geared up, she'd probably be dead. You just can't get a 2. You can't get a 2 or 1 or 0. It's a 3. Because each category starts with 1. There's 3 categories that add up to 14. So I would like to know that. Back tire lost traction. Pretty sure we both hit the guardrail. Here's the thing, guys. Here's the thing. The mechanism of injury for both of them is the same. It was her bike, her friend was riding. Oof. Ay. So the mechanism of injury is the same for both of these people. You see how one person got away somehow, and this person did. This person on the ground has more injuries than the person standing up, but the mechanism of injury is the same. He says he doesn't know if he hit the guardrail. So just because he's walking around, this is my EMT kind of popping in my head, and this is what you're going to learn in the roadguardians.org, and you take a class. Same mechanism of injury here. So just because he's walking around, I'm going to have him sit down, and I want to monitor him. Who knows? He might have, I had a GCS of 0 before, brain on the ground. It might be it. He might have some type of traumatic brain injury, and just because his adrenaline's moving, he might have some fractures, and he doesn't know about. No! It's like, can you put... Oh, be a little nicer. Ay. I would have, as a motorcyclist, I would have been a little bit nicer with the helmet because he probably just scratched the whole right side of it. Yeah, the bobs, that's a good one. So Dan, great vid. But what can you do for yourself in these instances with nothing available? The greatest thing that you could possibly do is that if you are riding with a group, somebody else there is trained. If you are absolutely by yourself, understand that is the risk you're going to take. If you're riding by yourself and you're unconscious in an accident like this, that is the risk you're taking. There's not much you can do. If you're conscious and you're on the side of the road with a broken leg or you have difficulty breathing and people start stopping, you can walk them through things. You can definitely walk them through things. Try your best to stay alert. But man, if this happens to you, the recap, where'd you send it? Well, yeah, at the end she talks about it. At the end, oh look at that. Ooh, we're gonna see what happened to her leg. This right here is a long spine board. It's going to keep your spine in line. It's not comfortable at all. It's a splint for your spine, basically. And you're going to stay on it until the doctor says to get off. Okay, right here, this firefighter said, hey, you did a good job. I'm here now. Let me go ahead and take over. Simple as that. I'm going to assume that they think it's cold. That's why they brought the blanket, because this guy's got a beanie. I never wear beanies at work unless it was like really cold. All right. SoCal Ninja Rider, thanks very much. Of course, Goat Father, who's high-sided because of this accident, and to everyone who helped and was super supportive. Okay. Well, huge thank you to them. Yappy dogs, okay. The chest vest armor can be helpful if it is CE rated, so if it's motorcycle rated, and if your jacket doesn't come with one, you could definitely put it underneath your jacket, but just remember it's a vest, so it's not protecting your extremities, it's not protecting your shoulders, it's not protecting your back. Well, it should be protecting your back, but it's not protecting your shoulders, elbows, and yeah, so it's not protecting your body, it's just the chest and back. So if you're going to do that, make sure you wear a jacket over it. Okay.
Hey guys, so I just wanted to
666
come on here and talk about a little bit what happened because that wasn't recorded. My GoPro had actually died. So yeah, because there wasn't any footage of the actual crash. There was just of like the after stuff. So yeah, I just wanted to explain to you guys a little bit of how it actually happened.
Getting a tripod really helps. Your arm gets tired after a while, trust me.
And what happened was we were coming out of a turn. Okay, let me rewind because I almost forgot like something really important. I actually was not the person riding my bike. I was actually riding passenger because my friend was the one that was actually riding my bike.
Okay, so passenger, she was the passenger. And here's one of the things that a lot of people don't really realize in some of these types of ergonomics for bikes. If you ever look at passenger, let me see if I can pick it up. Passenger motorcycle. I want you to take a quick look once I get the picture up. All right, so this is a good picture. All right, so if you notice, the passenger is higher up on the motorcycle than the actual rider. So this is very typical. So when something happens, there's a greater chance of them like getting ejected, straight up ejected. Okay, so that's one thing you have to realize.
Like actually riding it, and I was passenger. Yeah, so that's like a huge thing in this that makes it a little bit more sucky, only because I wasn't like in charge
Jonas,
of my
that's
bike
crazy.
as I wrecked. Like I didn't wreck alone. Yeah. So what happened was we were coming out of a corner, and
let me pause that. All right, I was right. I haven't seen the full this. I just watched a little bit of this, of the actual accident. So they're coming out of a corner. They went a little too hot, a little too hard. One thing that he did say is that he lost traction to his rear tire, or at least he felt it. So quite possibly too fast into the turn. And when you have a passenger, remember this is her bike. So he's probably new to the bike. So he doesn't understand too much of the ergonomics, doesn't understand the power, doesn't understand the throttle, all these different things. So it's very scary to let somebody else ride your bike and you ride passenger and they've never ridden your bike before. Not good. Not a good decision. But definitely going too fast in a turn. When you have a passenger, it is a longer braking distance. You have to turn a little bit more for the same. And the speed to gain acceleration, it's a lot harder. So acceleration, deceleration, and turning. All portions of the traction triangle on your motorcycle. Just realize there's a delay to that. So going into this turn by yourself, probably could have made it. Not a big deal. Going into this turn by yourself, no problem. Using the same exact line selection, same exact acceleration, speed, entry point, apex, all those things as you would with a passenger, or I mean, as you would by yourself with a passenger, can cause something like this. Can cause something like this. So it looks like really quick, out of control, boom, impact.
the bike just kind of lost traction. I'm not really sure exactly.
Traction. Once again, acceleration, deceleration, turning, all part of the traction triangle of your motorcycle. If you apply too much lean angle, you start taking away traction from your acceleration and deceleration. Deceleration is braking power. So if you have almost 90% of your traction applied to your turning, and then you apply 15% of acceleration, that 5% over 100% will cause you to wash out. So if you are approaching a turn at 80% speed, so you're using 80% of your traction on your tires to do that, and then you use about 40% to turn without reducing your speed to where it's 60-40, you're going to crash. And how do you know all these things? Take a class. You start to learn your bike. You start to have a better familiarization with your bike. You start having better body positioning so that you have more traction during the same lean. But once again, he's never ridden this bike. And I'm not talking crap about anybody. This could happen to anybody riding somebody else's bike easily. And I don't know if I said, Kevin, thanks, man, for the 666.
Like what made the tire actually lose traction, or the tires, whatever exactly it was. So yeah, when we were coming out of the corner, we kind of just fell, you know. We just
low side.
Fell over. Oh my gosh,
it's a low side.
So that's kind of what happened.
So that's a low side. That's losing all traction in the tire and then just kind of washing out.
Basically low-sided, and I ended up sliding onto, because it was a turn,
So 845. 1 second.
Ended up sliding.
So 845. I want to see if I can get a good picture. Okay. Once again, the same injuries. She had a open pant, so she's got trauma to her right side. He's got trauma to his right side. You notice the same mechanism of injury. He's got trauma to the right extremities. She's got trauma to the right extremities. If he was wearing a jacket, he wouldn't have the road rash here. If he was wearing proper motorcycle pants, this would probably still be ripped open, but might have another layer underneath it that still protected him from having any type of road rash. So he's got road rash here, I'm pretty sure. Road rash here. She's probably got a little bit of road rash. These are regular jeans. This is a motorcycle jacket, so she probably doesn't have any road rash here. So where are we at?
My friend was the one that was actually riding my bike, like actually riding it, and I was passenger. Yeah, so that's like a huge thing in this that makes it a little bit more sucky, only because I wasn't like in charge of my bike as I wrecked. Like I didn't wreck alone. Yeah. So what happened was we were coming out of a corner, and the bike just kind of lost traction. I'm not really sure exactly like what made the tire actually lose traction, or the tires, whatever exactly it was.
Could be too fast, could be gravel.
Yeah, when we were coming out of the corner, we kind of just fell, you know. We just like
she had
fell
Moto
over.
jeans without the
Gosh,
protection.
my dog is pooping. So that's kind of what happened. We basically low-sided, and I ended up sliding onto, because it was a turn, I ended up sliding onto the other side of the road, and underneath the guardrail, and I hit the guardrail, and that's what broke my ankle or my leg. It all happened just so fast. Like I just remember like having that oh shit feeling, like we're going down, and then after that everything was just like a really fast blur.
So that fast blur that she's talking about, it doesn't necessarily mean that she had a concussion or anything like that. It could mean she had a concussion, but it doesn't necessarily mean that. And that's also part of it, is that when you talk to a patient when they're in an accident like that, letting them know what's going on. So that way they have an understanding of what's happening, and then quite possibly could remember a lot of the stuff.
I landed face down. I actually like stopped. I was face down somehow. I'm not really sure. My natural reaction, because I was face down, was to just push myself onto my back, and that's what I did. My bike actually...
So if she was unconscious and she was face down, I get a lot of questions of, should I move the patient? Should I move them and put them on their back? For the most part, yes. So there's a way to do it. There's a proper way to do it, because you do have to have C-spine precautions. You have to make sure the cervical spine is not compromised in any way. So there's a way to do it, and that's how you learn it in class. It's called a log roll. There's a one-person method. There's 2, 3-person methods. You can do 5-people methods. But for the most part, I would move the patient from laying on their stomach, which is prone, to supine, which is on their back, mainly because it's a lot harder to breathe. It's not impossible, but it's harder to breathe if you have any type of chest trauma and you're trying to breathe against the ground. You're basically lifting yourself up. When you're on your back, your chest rises and falls. If you're on your stomach, you're basically pushing your body up using your chest. So it gets a little bit more difficult to breathe. So I would move the patient with C-spine precautions involved. That's what I would do. Airbag vests, Keith, I think they're amazing. I honestly, if I could afford the Alpine Stars one, the one that looks like just a regular jacket, I would definitely do it. I would definitely do it. Right now, they're just a little too expensive. I'm kind of waiting on the price to go down a little bit, but I think those are going to be starting to come down and be very, very affordable. All flash blur. Adrenaline does make things appear to move different. Yeah.
Slid quite a bit. I'm going to try to have pictures.
See what I mean by getting just tripod? Your arms get tired.
Because I ended up going back to the site just to kind of take pictures, and I ended up finding my visor that.
So down the cliff, it could easily be her. Could easily be him. Both of them.
Had popped off. And I'll show you guys my gear in just a sec. But yeah, that's basically what happened. It was a low side. I was riding passenger, which kind of sucks, but you know, it happened. Like, I'll never let anyone ride my stuff again, and I will never ride passenger, and you know, it's just things that you learn from it. Only injuries that he had. So
real quick, 50% of all motorcycle, actually 80% of all motorcycle female fatalities are from the passenger's seat. So they're a passenger, and they mostly die. Female motorcycle riders mostly die as passengers, not as riders, but as passengers. That's crazy. Leather pants, it would have made a difference for abrasion resistance. It wouldn't have made a difference for impact. How do you handle someone who's had a head injury and is really confused and trying to get up and becomes violent? So Kit Kat's loves for books. The only thing you can do, you don't want to restrain the patient. Okay, at the end of the day, your safety is number one. I want everybody to understand that your safety is number one on scene. It's not your emergency. You're not the one in the crash. Do not create a situation for yourself where now it becomes your emergency and it's your situation, your scene. So if that person becomes combative and they want to fight and they want to run into traffic, if they want to do whatever, try your best to kind of corral them. Do not hold them down. But if they get away from you, they get away from you. Simple as that. Now, if it's your best friend, if it's somebody you know and it's somebody you care about and somebody you love, it's up to you if you want to tackle them. It's up to you if you want to restrain them if they have injuries. But for me, honestly, in my point of view, is that if I was coming up to a scene and this person wants to fight me, I can handle that. I can handle how restraining and all that stuff. I can handle them doing all that stuff. But if they start to get to the point where now they're pushing me into traffic or they're pushing me off a cliff, all right, bye. I'm going to let EMS, I'm going to let fire know. I'm going to be on the phone with them and say, hey, this patient's being combative, and I don't feel safe restraining the patient. That's what I would do. What happened? I let you ride passenger. Hey, Dan, off topic, I know, but I really want to thank you for all your content, resources, and training. I passed my open license yesterday thanks to your channel, books, and community you have created. Thank you, Broham. Everyone say congrats. Hey, Kevin already did it. Everyone say congrats to Bobbi. That is awesome. Guys, you get special emojis that Kevin Toole is he can use, and the ones I'm using if you click that join button.
From the accident where he just had road rash, basically. That's all he had. Yeah, I got a little busted, but that's kind of the gist of what happened. I'm just gonna show you guys my gear now. This is my helmet.
So I actually did something very similar to this with Matt Allen's accident. Matt's accident. And it was a really good video.
As you can see, got pretty scuffed up right here, pretty bad. And right here, my Cena got all loose and just kind of messed up because they had to take out the emergency.
Yep, that's easy to do.
Things to take off the pads. Like when I hit the road, somehow it hit like just right to where it scuffed this up pretty good, and it kind of just popped my visor off. And this is the side that hit first. Here's the little scuffs. And it, like, if I had my GoPro on, it would have just fell off, or, I mean, at least that's what I think. But yeah, this got ground down pretty good. And back here,
that could be your head.
I'm not really sure how this one
So Snail approved. It's a SHEA helmet. It's an RF 1200.
happened. I really don't know, but
So this right here looks like abrasion. This right here looks like abrasion. This looks like an impact. So she quite literally hit her head.
You know, whatever. And I already got my new helmet ready to go. Okay, so here are my gloves, and I'll show you guys like where exactly my hand got pretty messed up. I'll put it on. So as you can see, like...
So take a quick look. So who here thinks riding without gloves is okay? Look at her gloves. That's crazy. Once again, there's only so much you could do, but take a look. She still has fingers. They're not ground to the bone.
I mean, like, they could go in, but they're all messed up. I ended up somehow having my hand face.
Oh, perfect. I didn't even mean to do that. I was going to pause because of this right here. See the palm? It's been ground through. And then look at the road rash. So this is level 1. So right now this is a pulse oximetry on her. So she's in the hospital. So this is immediately right after. So this is level 1. Okay. That's just the upper, that's the epidermis just being torn off. If it's any further and there's flesh, that's level 2 and 3. Leather has more abrasion resistance, so leather would do better in this area as long as it has good stitching, but definitely not as breathable.
It's down like that, and it like took my nail off, and then this little scuff right here, this hole. So yeah, that kind of sucks. And then this side right here is where my knuckle would have been kind of screwed if I didn't have any kind of gloves on. So this is the jacket.
I wish I could pause it with a better frame.
As you can see, like I said, how
that's abrasion. Imagine wearing, I mean, you see them on the, you see them on, you know, like on the back as a passenger with like a bikini. Think about that.
I landed face down. This is probably where I rubbed under the guardrail or something. This side wasn't too bad, but this was my right side and it got pretty screwed up.
That's her left side.
Thank God.
Take a look. See the massive gouge? That's the elbow. That's the elbow. If she was wearing what the other guy was wearing, that would be her elbow opened.
For the elbow pad, because my elbow would have been so screwed. Right here's where my arm was like super fucking busted.
Okay, super effing busted. Take a quick look at all these impacts. You got your hands. You've got your knee, because you saw in her jeans that her knee was impacted. You see the elbow, you see the chest, and you see the shoulder. Where do we have armor? Where do we have armor in our gear? The shoulder, the elbow. Some gear has chest armor, knee armor, and she has a broken ankle possibly. So having motorcycle boots. Right? Right? Okay.
I'll put a picture right here.
Look at that. That's her elbow. I'm guessing because of the bend in the arm. This was right at the hospital. So I don't know what day this was at the hospital, but if this was day 1, that is massive trauma. That is so this is the elbow, yeah. So this is the elbow. I could tell her here. Massive trauma right here. Quite possibly broken. I don't know yet. She might say it, but yeah. So this is definitely later. You see how it's like starting to turn yellow, so it's called ecchymosis, and that the different coloring of the bruise, more like a green and yellow, that means it's healing. The more purple and reds, that means it's more newer.
Here, and it would have been a lot of road rash if it wasn't just the bruise that I had.
Yep.
And then here's the back, just a little.
So real quick to go back to that. She just says that it would have been a lot more road rash and not just the bruise. So imagine having this amount of impact to cause this bruising, and now you have no skin and possibly a little bit of flesh right here. Now, bruising is internal bleeding. So if you remove the skin, you're having a worse time healing. So the simple fact that that her skin is intact because she was wearing gear would allow her body to heal a lot better.
And then here's the back, just a little, just a little scuffed up. It's not too bad, but I feel like it definitely saved my ass.
Yep.
And then I'll show you guys the pants.
All right. So these are, I saw some Kevlar, so it might be Moto.
I hope this is some kind of like a informative video, so you could see that.
It is.
Gear is really important because it saved my ass. Okay, so these were the pants I was wearing, and they're actual Alpine Star riding pants.
Okay, so they are Moto pants. Okay, so this is the Kevlar lining that you see in Moto jeans. And all the cuts, see all these cuts? That's what EMS, I'm pretty sure EMS did, not the hospital. But these are little cuts. So you'll see that they did expose her either at the end or while she was in the ambulance or right on scene.
And they had to cut them off of me at the hospital, so that's...
Okay, well, there you go. So you see what I was talking about, cutting them off at the sides? See how you cut them off the sides? So right now, if she was inside this, okay, if the patient was inside here, for the most part, you have the groin covered, you have the legs covered. But if you need to expose to check for any type of bleeding, you cut to the sides on the inseam and then on the out seam, and you just flop it over, take a quick look, see if there's any issues, and then flop it back. Simple as that. So you can leave the patient not exposed, unexposed, whatever you want to call it, and have it to where they're not, it's not necessarily for modesty, but that is one huge thing. It is one huge thing is about being modest and having respect for the patient. Another thing is that if there was cold out, you have to start treating for shock. You want to start keeping the patient warm, so definitely having coverage on the patient is huge.
That's why they're all like beat up. But yeah, there's these.
You see how she flipped that over? So when you cut it in that triangle, and you can flip it over and remove the patient easily. And that right there, you can check the groin if there's any bleeding, any type of like massive trauma. Because if you have a pelvic injury, you're gonna pull a lot of blood in your pelvis. And for men, what is the one opening we have in our pelvis? Yeah. So the testicles will actually grow to the size of a freaking pineapple. I'm dead serious. That's where the blood will flow. Same thing with women; it'll just start flowing out of the vagina, and that's one thing you want to kind of keep an eye on. Not necessarily you want to stare at it, but you want to make sure, hey, this is possibly a pelvic injury. We need to be concerned about this because there's a lot of blood that can be in the pelvis.
These little, like, I'm not exactly sure what this is called or what it's for, but it also has these little hip pads that just kind of velcro to this right here on the side, but I did not have those on this day. And this is where the little knee hard inserts go, to protect your knee, obviously. I'm like saying like obvious ass shit. The little bit of road rash that I did have was just like a little quarter size road rash on my knee, which wasn't too bad. Something that kind of sucks is that I actually didn't have my knee pad or my knee, is that what it's called? My knee pad?
The armor. Inserts?
I don't know. In my pants that day because I...
So before I hear the excuse, every time you ride, it's an opportunity for you to crash. So don't get on the bike without full gear. And that includes the armor and the pants. Okay? Clicked too many buttons. Clicked it twice.
I had actually washed my pants, and it was just like I was just gonna go for a ride, and I didn't even think to put them back in because it's such a pain in the ass to put them back.
No.
And so I just put my pants on, but this is kind of what happened right here.
That would have been her armor. So that's the impact that she had, and it applied enough abrasion to rip open the aramid fibers. You can see the aramid fibers right there. This is the denim on top, and this is the aramid fibers. If she had her knee pads, it would have just ripped apart the knee pads, not her knee.
This is a little road rash, and it's just kind of what scuffed my knee up a little bit, which wasn't
all right, guys. Let's go ahead and keep it a little bit. That's the reason why I use medical terms. Okay.
Too bad. So I'm actually really thankful that my pants held up really good too, because that's the only road rash I had. I'll show you guys my shoes. My shoes were actually salvageable only because they didn't get very ruined. They just got a little bit of they got a little scuff.
So these are Moto boots. Okay, you can get them. They look like Converse. Okay, but see this little ring right here? This ring, that is an ankle protection. That is usually a D30 CE rated armor, and it's usually in there. And the sole is pretty much it has a shank in it so that it stays rigid. And then this right here, this back portion that's reinforced, usually stays rigid so that there's no collapse in the shoe. That's usually the difference between motorcycle shoes and regular shoes, because regular shoes don't have these extra features.
Right here on the side, I take the shoelaces off to take them off of me because my ankle was like seriously throbbing in so much fucking pain. So these shoes are really hard to come off. A lot of the times you see in wrecks when they don't wear proper like riding shoes, their shoes just fly off. Everything pretty much saved my ass like it was supposed to. Like the gear did its job, and that's what I'm happy about. Yeah, so I'll show you guys my scar so you guys can see how it's doing. So here's my scar.
Oh. That happens. It's motorcycling for you. That is a massive scar.
It's like autofocus, but
So she still got bruising, so that's just blood pooling. That's usually after surgery. But yeah, if it's a scar, that means she's still healing.
yep, there it is. It reminds me of like a centipede. So yeah, I'll put a picture of the x-rays, but there's a rod here, and then there's screws.
There it is. There it is, guys. So that the redness will go away after roughly 2 years if you take care of the skin. But she has, I'm no x-ray tech, but you can definitely tell that there's fractures. These dark marks, those are spaces. So she's got a fractured tibia. It doesn't look like the fibula is fractured at all, but definitely here. So she's got a metal plate in her leg.
Into my bone.
Yeah,
I believe it's 8 screws. So my scar is healing up pretty good. And I lost a lot of muscle in my leg. Anyway, I just wanted to...
So that's called atrophy. You'll lose a lot of muscle in that the affected leg. So probably her right calf is a lot bigger. Tall boots could have protected her a lot better. So real quick, ow, I stepped on my headset. So real quick, here we go. All right. So for instance, with tall boots. So I have tall boots. Okay, so these are my boots. This is right here the reason why. What type of protection do you have that goes from the ankle to the knee? None. You don't even have protection going from the knee to the hip either. But nobody makes anything like that. So Bobbi. So what I do is I made sure that I can buy what I can that will protect the most I possibly can. So this right here, I got a Moto boot. It's got a hard front, and then a lot of the newer ones are actually reinforced on the calf and then on the sides too. So it's gonna be it's gonna be much more stiff, but you'll might possibly prevent a broken bone like this. I'm not saying it will prevent broken bones, but what I'm saying is that maybe she would have just had massive bruising and nothing broken. Does that make sense? Or maybe it would have been such a hairline fracture that she's just in a cast and doesn't have staples and rods and metal inside her body. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's why I wear boots, and boots would have helped.
To kind of show you guys my gear. Oh, actually, I wanted to show you guys the boots that I would actually normally wear.
There you go. Look at that.
These are just like my casual riding shoes. And I just wanted to show you guys the boots that I actually wear that could have saved my bone maybe a little bit. So yeah, I'll be right back. These are the boots that I...
I would have worn these boots. Now, when I ride, I ride with the best stuff I possibly can afford. So, I mean, if all you can afford, I mean, these boots are probably way more expensive than those Moto shoes. So ride with what you can afford, okay? But if you can afford these types of boots, that's a lot of protection for your feet and your shins and your calf and your ankle. So definitely wear something like this if you can.
That I would normally wear for riding. They're a little bit more protective. As you can see, these are just more like casual riding shoes. And then these are a little bit heavy, like a little bit more of a heavier duty boot. So anyway, that's all my gear.
So steel toe work boots, if that's all you have, use it. But definitely get yourself a pair of Moto shoes or boots.
And stuff that I wanted to show you guys. So I did have gear. My bike was totaled, and I'm moving on to new and better things. So my lesson from all this is don't let anyone ride your stuff. Don't ride passenger on your own bike, and wear your gear. I mean, I had my gear on, but I'm just saying, like, I'll never not wear my gear now. Hopefully my next video is my actual bike reveal. I'm hoping. It's like kind of waiting on some parts and stuff to get it all ready. But yes, you guys are going to die when you see my new bike. Because
all right. So what do we learn? What do we learn from this? I'll go ahead and bring the accident scene back up, so that way you're not looking at my ugly mug. What are we going to learn from this? What can we learn from this? So she's saying what she learned was to wear full gear, not ride passenger on her own bike, and something. Or not ride passenger on her bike. Not let anybody else ride her bike. There you go. So, yeah, guys. Wear your gear at all times. Wear your gear. And think about why they might have crashed. You know, 2-up on a turn. Maybe trying to keep up with others. Not inexperience of the rider. Curves and intersections are the most dangerous places for motorcyclists. Yeah, it's very important, guys. Very important to start thinking this way. Start thinking and making sure that you're doing the right thing. And what can we do to help minimize, but mitigate these issues? You want to take a class, an MSF class, so that you are prepared for everything, so that you're trained in that aspect. And then take a Road Guardians class, so roadguardians.org. Take a accident scene management class. That way you know what to do in case this happens. You'll be one of these people, and you know what to do. Yeah, I wonder what the speed they were doing. So guys, if you'd like to support the channel, we have 426 patrons out of 500 patrons. At 500 patrons, I'll be traveling the country in a van down by the river, and then I'll be doing some classes. I'll be training you guys. Okay, obviously I can't certify you but I can get you prepared to take one of these classes, and I'm going to give you as much information as I possibly can to keep you safe, keep you alive. And the only way I can do that is by the support that you guys do on Patreon. Patreon.com/DanandTheFireman. It's right there. I posted a link. Another thing that you can do is that it's right next to the subscribe button. It says join. That's another thing that you can do is click that join button. Okay, so when you click join, you get members only access. You get all these emojis. So the people that have the beard like Kevin Toole right there, you become YouTube member. Okay, so that's $5 a month. Hey, you're welcome, Sergey. Also, another thing is that guys, yeah, the web store is back for Riot Beard. So Riot Beard, the store's back to get your beard products. Look at this beard. How am I doing? How am I doing with this beard? Is it looking good? Also, quick shout out. Yeah, thank you, Sergey. Yeah, quick shout out. So thank you for the Indian tin. I put it up now. So the Indian tin is up there. Thank you for sending that to me. If you want to send me anything, I do have a P.O. box, and I'll put it up on the wall if I have room, or I'll find room for it. I'll start moving my own crap off and putting your stuff on. You see some other bikers right now, you're just shaking my head. I cannot understand it. Yeah, I mean, it's up to them. They're taking that risk. They are taking that risk. But right now, if you guys have any questions about anything, so I'm not going to end the stream right away. Usually I end the stream after the video. If you have any questions about what to do on scene, what kind of gear you should have to help mitigate some of these issues, what kind of classes you can take so that when you go into a turn like this, you're not going to have any issues. Any questions like that, I'm here for you. I'm a resource for you. So please ask, and I'll be here and I'll talk to you. I'll talk to you guys. If I'm not live during a stream, there's always the Discord. So the Discord is a great resource. We have 1,400 members, and it's absolutely free. The Discord is absolutely free, guys. So if you would like to join the Discord, I know some of you can't afford Patreon or can't afford a super chat or anything like that. The best way to support this channel is by sharing any video that you like. I'm not saying go share this one. I'm saying share the ones that you like. So how to pick up a motorcycle, you know, what kind of helmets, what is armor, all those things. Share the videos that you like. That really does help. So any recommendations on CE rated armor jacket sub $300? Are you looking for summer jacket? Are you looking for winter jacket, all season, 3 season? What kind of jacket you're looking for? So really quick though, the jacket behind me, this was sub, how much was it? It's an Alta mesh. I think it was 220. Boom, boom, 220. So let me go ahead and bring this over here. Let me go and switch it over to this. So this is the jacket that I have in the background, right next to my head. This is the Reax Alta mesh jacket. Really good jacket. It's only 220. 220. It's a great jacket. It has CE rated elbow, shoulder, and you can insert a CE rated back armor. So very, very good. Very, very good. What else do we have here? Respect the beard. Yes, exactly. Gotcha Studios, you in Mexico. Dan, thanks for all you teach us. Rosemary, thank you. Do you ever find a good road cam? Been looking for one. So are you talking about a motorcycle dash cam? I haven't found one yet. Nikki's Adventures, what motos does she have? She has Sedici. Let me see if I can find them because I know where I bought them. So let me check them out. She has a pair of Sedici motorcycle boots. Sedici women. Excuse me. I can't find them. I think these are it. So I think these are the ones that she got. So the Sedici Lorenzo waterproof women's boots. So they're $139, and we got them because she has tiny feet and they fit her tiny feet. So that's kind of what we were at. Let's see. I can only carry 2 first aid items for me for an accident scene. What should they be? So Julian, think about it when it comes to what's going to kill somebody. The fact that they're not breathing and they're bleeding out. Okay, that's what's going to kill somebody. So if I were you, I would buy and get a pocket mask for rescue breathing. They can come in various sizes. You can get one that's fold up and they're like super duper tiny, or you can get one that's an actual seal and a mask. And then if you can fit as much 4x4s and gauze as you can, okay, because they might bleed out. And if you can't do that, then anything that's a clean, sterile, or not even sterile, if it's just a cloth, you can pack somebody's wound with that. So a pocket mask would probably be the better bet for that. Pocket mask and then nitrile gloves. Those are the 2 things I would do. Let's see. I want an armored shirt. Yeah, Dan, they make some really good armor shirts nowadays. I think Reax makes one. Let's see. Reax armored. Yep, Reax makes an armored shirt. So Reax makes an armored shirt for $179. They look pretty cool. And it's got armor in the elbow and shoulder. Yeah, it's pretty neat. Let's see. Sorry, let me catch up to you guys. Will you ever, one second. What is the first thing you should do after wreck? I mean, actually being in one. Do a quick body check. If you possibly can, if you're conscious, do a quick check on your body. Be like, is there any massive bleeds? How's my breathing? Okay. I think everything's good. I'm just going to stay here, call 911. That's what I would do. Will you ever make a video about doing first aid on yourself? Kit Kat, yeah. I plan on making some videos when it comes to motorcycle first aid. And trust me, that's going to be in there. There's going to be scenarios that I'm going to be playing out. So Joe Rocket Phoenix is pretty awesome. Yeah. Like check yourself out or take gear off. So I wouldn't take any gear off. I would check yourself out. If anything, if you're able to move, that means that's good. So if you're a walking wounded, that's good. If you're critical where you can't walk and you can't move and you have massive chest pain, back pain, just stay still. Julian gloves are #1. Yep. Shared videos all the time and also put in plugs from time to time. Awesome. Thanks, Hobo. Mainly summer, but in Michigan does get cold occasionally. So yeah, the React's Ultra Mesh Jacket's a good one. Also, Fly Cool Pro is a good one too. And then somebody said the Joe Rocket Phoenix. That's also a good mesh jacket. Quick Q, are your new pants in like huge difference from righty jeans or in terms of cooling? Yes, because there's mesh all the way up the front. Way better in cooling. Way better in cooling. I can already tell though if it gets super cold, I'm probably gonna have to wear some type of like, I don't know, cold gear underneath it. There's a lot of venting. Have you seen Motorbike Millie on YouTube? No, I haven't. No, I haven't. I'll go ahead and do a quick check. Let's see. Motorbike Millie. Oh, it's a dog. Is it a doggo? It's a doggo with 10,000 subscribers. That's crazy. Do you think the Road King is a good bike? It can be. It depends on what you want to use it for. I don't think it's a good in-city bike. I mean, if you're just going from point A to point B in the city, it's going to be a lot of bike for that. It's really good for long distance. It's the king of the road, bruh. I take my MSF course August 16th. Wish me luck. Good luck, man. Good luck, Chris Brown. My Alpine Stars boots didn't save my foot. Oh. There's only so much gear can do, man. I wear a black brand perforated leather jacket with D30 in the back, elbows and shoulders. Chris Fox, yes, dash cam have two in car, need one for bike. There's some out there. I haven't really checked it. I haven't really checked into it because that's just a lot to just add to a bike. But it could be really helpful. And I always ride with actual camera and stuff. So Icon Conflict D30 elbow, shoulder armor, back armor, summer jacket with full sleeve, zip in liner is good and is around 215. Okay. Start the breathing, stop the bleeding, protect the wound, and treat for shock. Boom. Very good. My perforated leather actually breathes better than my mesh jacket. That's actually really good because then you're gonna have really good abrasion resistance with the leather. I wear business casual to work and sometimes high professional attire. What overpants would you suggest? Usually slacks, button down. So Icon has an overpant. Icon overpants. Let's see if I can find it. So Icon overpant. Let's see. And I'm just using REVZILLA because they have a big selection. So let's see. Icon has an overpant. Now it does have armor. I think it's the Icon Overlord. No, that's an actual jean. Huh. Well, Icon, and there's some overpants out there that they have they have CE rated knee armor and hip armor in them, and they're relatively loose and they're super mesh, so they're designed to be over those pants. So I'd wear something like that. It's kind of hard to wear business casual, even professional, when you go ride your bike to work. So let me catch up to some of these things. Good night, Chris Brown. Do you think a sport bike is a good beginner bike? It depends on the sport bike. An R3 is a good sport bike to start with. It's not too much power, but it's still plenty of power for you to grow into. So I'll check into that. How about how to help in an accident if you pass out seeing blood and such? So if you pass out from seeing blood, and how can you help out in an accident? So that just means that you're not going to help with the patient. Okay, so if you're on scene of an accident and you don't feel comfortable, the best thing you can do is call 911 or call emergency services as quick as you can. If somebody's already taken care of the patient, another thing that you can do is help direct traffic. Making sure that you're 100 feet below, 100 feet above, you're around the curve, you're on the hill, you're able to slow people down. That way you're not involved with the actual patient, but you're involved with helping out on scene. And trust me, it helps. There's always a role for somebody. What do you think about the Bon Air riding shirt? It feels too good to be true. Feels great in the heat. But do you think it protects you? I don't know too much about that. So a lot of the questions when it comes to what about this gear? What about this gear? What about this gear? I can't answer all those ones. Right now, I'm going to tell you that it's not going to hold up in a crash. Yeah, that won't hold up in a crash. It's just impact resistant stuff. That's it. There's no abrasion on that one. Would you ever come to SoCal to do a class? Yes, Kevin Woodman, I would. I need a set of overpants as well. Yeah. How long has the stream been going? Stream's been going on for an hour and a half right now. I wrecked turning my first time riding. Haven't really rode in like 15 years since then. It's a little scared to get back on. Any advice to get over that? Simon, since it's been 15 years, I would recommend taking the MSF BRC1. They provide the bike. They provide pretty much everything. And you're going to have hands-on training for 2+ days. If you still don't want to ride after that, then you're only out the class money. You're not out buying a bike. You're not out buying your own gear. So it's not like it's a huge, investment. So I definitely would take the BRC1. If you don't like it, if that's too much for you, no harm, no foul, you're out. I mean, that's it. I mean, if you like it though, then now you know for a fact that you want to get back into it. And it's going to help bring up your confidence. I picked up the clotting gauze and a couple chest seals, a splint, some dressing, gauze wraps, adult and infant CPR mask, shears, and a couple of standard medical supplies. Crispy. That might be a little too much for your bike, especially if it's an infant CPR. Hopefully no infants are riding on the back of anybody's bikes, but I do like the splint, dressings, gauze wraps, and all those things. Those will come in handy. The shears will come in handy. But that probably looks like a really good car kit. But I think you know what you're doing. Alpine Stars SMS 6V2 the boots you had at the end. A pair of great under $300. Okay. How often are these live streams? Because I'm tuning in from now. This is amazing. So solar eclipse. I do these every Tuesdays and Thursdays, but I wanted to give one extra today. So I'll be doing it again tomorrow and Thursday. Okay. Usually 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, so Arizona time. We don't do daylights. What do you think of the Klim Outlander GTX boots? Thinking of using it for hiking as well. I don't know. Honestly, too many. I mean, if they're boots, they're boots, they're boots, and Klim makes good stuff. If you're going to be using it for hiking, just be aware that you're going to start removing some of the traction for when you need it for the pegs and everything. So just kind of be aware of that. And they might not be as comfortable because motorcycle boots are stiff and rigid compared to hiking boots where they just offer ankle support. But they're usually pretty soft, a little bit rigid on the bottom, but for the most part, they breathe. Motorcycle boots don't really do that. Thanks. I live in Yukon. I've been looking for the road. Nice, Thomas. How's it going, dude? Crate toast. Good night, Dan Shay. Popping in the stream, dropping a big fat like for you. Thank you, man. Did you see the new Vulcan S? Oh no, I haven't seen it yet. If it's a Vulcan S, it's a good beginner bike. Silly question, but how do you feel about shorts under overpants? Safe, right? Just feel weird. Yeah. I mean, I wear my pants. I just have underwear underneath them. I don't wear pants underneath my pants. Overpants, they don't offer as much abrasion resistance, so just be aware of that because they're meant to be lightweight and breathable, so they don't have a lot of abrasion resistant stuff. They're designed to have like pants underneath them for the most part. I'll let you know what armored overpants I get and how they work. Nice. I wear a mesh jacket. Front open, not zip. Does it Yes, it does. So, Julian, it does. If you wear a mesh jacket with the front open and it's not zipped, you are compromising the protection that you could have. Okay, so make sure you zip it up. I appreciate the recommendation if we plan on gear. Nice, man. I'm trying to read as fast as I can, catch up to the chat. Will you do a video on how to correctly downshift and rev match? So downshifting and rev matching, I mean, everyone's making it super complicated. It's a 3-step process. Okay, you pull in the clutch, you roll off the throttle and pull in the clutch. So those are 2 steps, pretty much simultaneous. You press the shifter down. Then you start releasing the clutch into the friction zone, and you start slowly rolling on the throttle in a smooth action, and that's it. It's as simple as that. Now, if you dump the clutch and you just get back on the throttle as quick as you can, it's not synced up, it's going to be jerky motion. So when I say slow, be smooth. Everything is a smooth movement. And really, if you know how to downshift, if you're downshifting and you're doing it in the road, just keep doing it. That is one of those skills that will smooth out over time if you're actually trying. See you later, Sergey. Thank you, everything. I took the MSF after 20 years now of riding and have been riding as much as I can since passing. Do you like sport bikes? What do you think about them? Sport bikes are cool. I mean, my bike's pretty much like it's like a cruiser / sport bike. The sport bikes really, I mean, they're good bikes. There's an abundance of them if that's what you like. There's a lot of them out there that are relatively inexpensive. Just remember that they are designed after super sports and they're designed after race bikes, so they are pretty much designed for that. They're not super comfy. I'm going to tell you, a lot of bikes aren't super comfy. They're more for aggressive riding. If we want you to come to SoCal, what's the best email to get in touch with you? Dan the fireman 928@gmail.com. So let me go ahead. There you go. 5 a.m. here in Israel. Good morning, sir, and everyone else. Good morning, S77 Lam. Shalom. Is that what it is? Rev matching is a blip with throttles. You downshift not a lot, just enough to match the RPM. Yeah. Radka, guys, if you want to send me just a letter, it doesn't have to be money, it doesn't have to be a gift, it doesn't have to be anything. If you just want to send me a letter and say whatever it is you want to say, send it to me. I'll open it, I'll read it. And I actually have right there is a letter, that little white mark on, or that white paper on the cork board, that's a letter. And it's just a personal letter. And if you want to send me a letter, I'll post it up here. Obviously, you can't read what's in the letter, so I'll post it up there and I'll read it. So yeah, definitely. Race bikes with lights, pretty much. That's pretty much what it is. Hey, I caught up to all the chit chat. So guys, like I said, there's if you want to support the channel, it's patreon.com/DanandTheFireman. Just real quick, guys, I do have a new giveaway on my Patreon. Okay, I'll be giving away, and I said this during the live stream earlier today. Let me go ahead and grab it. All right here. All right. I'll be putting together an EMS pack. So I got this EMS pack I ordered. I'm going to test it out. So it's actually be pretty nice. It's going to be able to fit inside somebody's saddlebag. Obviously, it's going to get a little bit more. But first place is going to get an EMS bag, and I'm slowly getting supplies. So I got a bunch of roll gauze here. I got some N95 masks. I got some triangular bandages, but the reason why I'm doing this is because this month, July, a lot of people are starting to ride more. And I want to keep everybody safe. And the reason why I'm doing the giveaway on Patreon, but you can enter in without having to pay. So there's a way to enter the giveaway without being a patron. But if you would like to support me on Patreon, that's really important. That really helps out because all these things, the reason why I bought a whole bag full of gauze, and I'm going to be buying bags fulls of everything else, is because I'm putting together my kit for when I teach these classes. I mean, I can't just show up without any gear. So I'm actually saving up to buy a mannequin so I can do jaw thrusts. I'd like to buy 2. But I'm going to be slowly building my kit, and that's what I'm using the Patreon money for. And you guys are supporting what I'm doing. So if you would like to, please, that'd be great. To help me build these things. So when I do travel the country after 500 patrons, I'll have a classroom kit so I can show you guys. So I'm not just saying, hey, imagine that there's a dummy here. Imagine doing the job. No, I'm actually going to have these things for you guys to use. And Patreon is the way to do it. It's $2 a month. It really helps out the channel. If you don't want to do Patreon, there's also super chats. So super chatting, clicking that little money symbol at the bottom of the chat. Or joining. Let's see. I have a question, but not sure. Let's go ahead and jump into these questions again. Tinker's Custom. Dan, do you have brand loyalty? What's your favorite brand of motorcycle? Right now, it's Indian. I don't really have brand loyalty. It's whoever comes out with the best stuff, and that works for me. I've been looking at the Indian FTR for about 3 years now, and I've been waiting for it to come out because that is what I wanted, and I have no regrets buying it. It's the absolute best bike that I've ever ridden. Let's see. Rode up Mount Washington last week, and they have a post office up there. Should have sent postcard. Didn't even think about it. Yeah, do it again. You go right up there again. I have a question, but not sure if it's been covered. I'm a new rider. I have an Indian Scout. I want to wear all the necessary gear. It's very hot in Israel. So it's very hot in Israel. It's very hot in southern Arizona also. So getting stuff like this, like the Ultra Mesh jacket, the Fly Cool Pro jacket, getting an Ultra Mesh pants, getting a helmet that has good ventilation, gloves that are perforated and have ventilation, and then you're just going to sweat with boots. As simple as that. Getting an undershirt that wicks the sweat off you with the mesh jacket. That way, when you're riding, the mesh will allow airflow, which will allow the air to pull the sweat from you, which will pull heat from you. It's very good. Drinking lots of water all the time is very important. That way, you actually have sweat to be wicked off your body, and having a lot of fluids in your body, having a lot of water in your body helps regulate your body temperature a lot easier. So that's the best thing I can tell you for hot weather riding. It's likely that Gear Producer Country is available there. Okay, big ups, Dan. Your live shows are the best. I know it'll save a life out there on the road. That's the goal, Julian. That's the goal, is to save a life, and you guys are making it possible. You guys are. If you guys weren't watching these videos, I mean, I'd still be trying to do it, but you guys make it. Those comments are the best. Ever rode Honda Rebel 2-up? Not yet. We don't have a 2-up seat. I would like to. Nikki wants to bob it out though, so I don't know. If at all possible, go somewhere that you can try them on. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, definitely try them on. Try on some things. It's a huge help. Huge help. Oh, 1 second. Is that thing? Yeah, that thing's changing. So thank you. That was like my first. That's a motorcycle nightlight. That was my first gift, basically. That's been on the shelf. So it's really nice. So all these things have been building up. Also, guys, if you'd like to support, make sure you share, because we're at 98,197 subscribers. That'd be great. You've inspired me to look into becoming an MSF instructor. The issue is that the closest classes are around 200 miles from where I live. Do you know anything about starting a new program class? So you're definitely going to have to, I would contact the MSF, David Eads. I'd contact the MSF, and then I would ask about how to become an instructor, because you have to go through a class. It's roughly 9 weeks, 9 to 12 days, and it's a full-on class to become an instructor. If there's nobody within 200 miles from where you live and your community do ride bikes, I mean, you could definitely be the MSF rider coach for that area. So that's actually good. That's smart. I want to set up a YouTube channel here soon. I'm going to have to, but I'm heading to bed. Good night, guys. Later, Dan. Have a good night, man. Good night, Solar Eclipse. Could you possibly do a video going over what makes motorcycle gear good versus bad? Why dual density EPS foam is better than the different types of motorcycle helmet shells? Yeah, I would have to definitely do the research on that one. Because you're asking for like the deep dive, the dual density EPS foam better than, let's say, like the MIPS system, MIPS, where it's kind of like a suspension system in your helmet. The problem is there's not a lot of data on those newer types of motorcycle helmet shells, like the MIPS system, the 6D system. Once again, Snail, Sharp, ECE, DOT, their testing process tests certain things. They don't test the rotational forces of a head in an impact. They don't test a lot of these things. So that's an issue. There's actually going to be newer testing out in Europe pretty soon where they will test an angular impact, where it's not a straightforward impact. They're going to test an angular impact. So I'm actually interested in that coming out, and they're going to start making to where it has to be that rated for MotoGP. So like I said, I'm really interested in that. First time I sat down on a sport bike, I fell in love with it. Nice. What's up, fishing? What are some lessons you learned doing EMT other than to wear gear? Other lessons I learned as an EMT other than to wear gear. Now just remember, as an EMT rider, or not EMT rider, as an EMT and a rider, when I would see people in motorcycle crashes, remember, it's all trauma related, and how do we mitigate a lot of the trauma not after the fact, but before it? The way we mitigate a lot of the trauma is wearing full gears. So when I saw a lot of these accidents, it really made me want to wear full gear. And then when I was riding, I started realizing people are very inexperienced, and that's what causes a lot of accidents. It doesn't matter at that point what gear you have. If you keep crashing, sooner or later, it's not going to do you any good. So becoming an MSF rider coach and then taking classes is huge. So make sure you take at least the BRC 1 or 2, depending if you've been riding for a while. And then if you can, take an advanced course. That would definitely help you out. Obviously, wearing full gear is huge. The right gear, the right size, the right fitment for the right season is very important, very important. And then obviously taking an accident scene management class if you want to help out even further. Let's see. There used to be a company that did motorcycle training, but the owners either moved away or retired. Yeah, fill that void, bro. Thanks, Dan, for the videos. I watched them and learned off from you. My first ride yesterday, and I knew what to look for. Awesome, fishing. You're off to the great start. Got a good foundation. Go slow. Like, don't ride slow, but I mean, like, take your progression slowly. Before you know it, from 1 year from now, since you've progressed slowly and you've been building upon a good foundation, you're gonna be leaps and bounds ahead of everybody that has been trying to rush things. My goal is not to get a single scratch on it. Bikes, man, you get scratches. Shout out from Malaysia. Nice. Kawasaki Vulcan S, good bike, man. It's a good bike. So guys, I just I think we're done. We've been streaming for an hour and 45 minutes. I just want to say thank you to everybody. Make sure you join the Discord, guys. Make sure you join the Discord. Discord. The Discord is absolutely free. Absolutely free. Okay, so you click this link, beginnermotorcycletips.com, and join. So this is live right now. So this is the Discord right now. You like the music, don't you? So guys, click that link, beginnermotorcycletips.com. That will give you a link to everything. That will tell you how to join Patreon, how to join Discord, what my latest video is, my motorcycle ebook. It's the beginner's guide. All these different things, guys. All these different things. If you want the ebook and free training at ddfmcrew.com, it's on that link. Beginnermotorcycletips.com is the link that you just need to bookmark, okay? Bookmark that link. Make sure you join Patreon, guys. Join Patreon to help support the channel. Really help out. Also, guys, if you join Patreon, even at the smallest level, you get a personal video message from me. So that is, you get a bunch of perks on there. Bunch of perks. You get a personal video message from me.